If you feel like 2026 is already wasted, I need you to hear me. It's not. Maybe you haven't made the progress you thought you would make. Maybe you started the year excited, fell off, tried again, and then fell off again. Maybe the business hasn't grown, the channel hasn't taken off, the opportunity hasn't arrived, and now you're looking at the rest of the year thinking, maybe 2026 just wasn't my year. Bro, stop deciding how the story ends while you're still living in the middle of it. You still have time, but finishing the year strong doesn't mean panicking, putting more pressure on yourself, and trying to force 12 months of progress into the time you have left. I actually believe it requires something that sounds contradictory. You need to take the work more seriously while taking each individual result less personally. Work harder on what your purpose requires. Stay committed when that work becomes difficult, and then release some of the pressure you've attached to the outcome. Because on December 31st, you won't only ask yourself, did I accomplish every goal? You're also going to ask, did I give the life I wanted a real chance? So let's talk about how to make sure the answer is yes. The first thing you need to know is identify the work your purpose requires and do as much of that work as possible, daily if you can, because your purpose has requirements. Bro, you can say that you want to become a successful creator, coach, speaker, entrepreneur, whatever it is that you feel called to become. But what does that purpose require you to do? Does it require you to create? Does it require you to publish? Does it require you to make offers, develop your skills, train your body, your mind, have uncomfortable conversations, or reach out to people who might say no? Wanting something and doing what that thing requires are not the same. For me, one of the biggest things my purpose requires right now is making YouTube videos. I'm on this road to 50K subscribers, and I've made a commitment to create a video every single day. I've been thinking about making 2 videos a day because, bro, I want this so badly. But every video isn't only an attempt to get views. Every video is a repetition. It helps me become a stronger speaker. It teaches me more about storytelling, YouTube, titles, thumbnails, and connecting with the person watching. I don't need more fantasies about becoming successful. I need more repetitions of the work that success requires. And so do you. You don't need to completely reinvent your life before the end of 2026. You need to determine which action gives your dream the greatest chance of becoming real. And repeat that action as often as your life allows, not just when you're inspired, not just when it's convenient, as much as possible, daily if you can. Because one day of purposeful work may not change your life, but 5 months of purposeful work can completely change who you are, what you're capable of, and the opportunities you're prepared to receive. Second thing you need to do is stay committed when the work becomes difficult. Because the work will not always reward you immediately. You may publish the video and it gets 20 views. You may send the pitch and receive no response. You may make the offer and hear no. You may train for 2 weeks and still look the same in the mirror. This is where most people make a permanent decision based on a temporary result. They decide the dream isn't working. They decide they aren't good enough. They decide that all their effort has been wasted. But one disappointing result is not a verdict on your future. Sometimes the answer isn't here yet because you need more repetitions. Sometimes you need to improve the strategy. Sometimes you need to become better at the work. Sometimes you simply need to remain committed long enough for the results to catch up with your effort. Staying committed doesn't mean mindlessly doing something that clearly isn't working. You study, you learn, you adjust, and then you try again. Bro, if today doesn't give you the result you hope for, return tomorrow. If the next attempt doesn't work, learn something and return again. Because if you remain committed and continue improving, eventually something has to change. Your skills change, your belief changes, your strategy changes, your opportunities change, and eventually your results begin to change too. Most importantly, you change. But you cannot experience the result that may have been waiting on repetition number 100 if you disappear after repetition number 12. Anybody can show up when the results are exciting. Commitment is returning after the day that made you question everything. Do it tired. Do it scared. Do it disappointed. Just don't stop. And the third thing you need to do might sound completely counterintuitive. Take the pressure off. Taking the pressure off doesn't mean you stop caring. It doesn't mean you lower your standards or become lazy. It means you stop turning every individual outcome into a judgment of your worth and your future. Pressure sounds like, if this video doesn't perform, my channel is never going to grow. If this offer doesn't sell, I'm a failure. If I don't reach this goal before December, I wasted the entire year. When you think that way, every action becomes a test you're terrified to fail. You overthink, you procrastinate, you become afraid to experiment. You check the results every 5 minutes and allow a number on the screen to determine how you feel about yourself. Bro, that pressure doesn't always help you perform better. Sometimes it makes the work heavier than it needs to be. That's why one of the most important things I'm learning is to give my best and release the verdict. I'm going to continue making videos every day. If one of those videos gets 0 views, that's fine. Doesn't mean I don't care about growing. I want 50K subscribers badly enough that I'm considering making 2 videos a day. But if I make 2 videos a day, I want it to come from devotion to my purpose, not panic that one video wasn't enough. Because when your purpose, your dream, becomes punishment, you'll begin avoiding the very work you once loved. So keep the commitment high, but release your attachment to what must happen today. Your purpose does not need your panic. It needs your presence. It needs you focused enough to create, humble enough to learn, and emotionally strong enough to return when the result disappoints you. You cannot control exactly when the breakthrough arrives, but you can control how many honest opportunities you give it to find you. This is your mid-year reset. Do the work your purpose requires. Stay committed when that work becomes difficult. Give your best and release the verdict. Before today ends, answer 3 questions. What does my purpose require from me? When am I going to do that work? And which outcome do I need to stop using as a judgment of my worth? Then complete 1 repetition. Don't wait until Monday. Don't wait until next month. And please don't wait until 2027 to become serious about the life you still have time to build in 2026. You may reach December without accomplishing every result you wanted, but imagine reaching and knowing you stopped abandoning yourself. Imagine knowing you created daily, stayed when it became difficult, and gave your dream every opportunity you could give it. That year would not be wasted. That year would become the year you learned how to trust yourself again. And if limiting beliefs keep telling you that you're behind, that you're not good enough, or that your results determine what you're capable of becoming, download my free audio training, Limitless. It'll help you identify the beliefs controlling your decisions, expand what you believe is possible, and continue taking action before the external evidence arrives. The link is down below. Then watch why you're not leveling up on your screen next. That video will help you understand why your effort hasn't created the progress you want. Stop repeating the cycle of starting and stopping, and remain with the work long enough for it to finally compound. 2026 is not over. Do the work. Stay committed. Release the verdict. And no matter what, bro, do not give up on yourself.